I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review. There's another paid request, this time from Walter. Thank you so much for that. As for a film, No Escape, from 2015. Now, paid requests could be sent either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And No Escape, this is a film I had heard of for a while, and just never got around to watching it. You have Owen Wilson coming back to doing a more serious film. The last time he did this was Behind Enemy Lines, which I really enjoyed in the early 2000s. And that's more of an action film, popcorn fun in a way. This is more of a thriller with a bit of action in it. You also have Pierce Brosnan in the film. And I gotta say, this is really good. This is very good. Intense. When it gets going, it does not stop. It's from one of the directors of the Poughkeepsie tapes and As Above So Below, which I really enjoy that film. I think it's one of the better films in that genre. So this was his chance, because I think it's two directors that did those, and this is one of them, striking on his own. And it was his chance to, again, do a bit more of a different type of genre, different type of arena for a movie. It's not a horror film, although there are times it feels like a horror film, as in there are times it feels like it's 28 days later with all the chaos and ruckus going on. But I do think his experience with horror helped in making some of these scenes more intense than I thought they would be. Because the idea is Owen Wilson has gone to Southeast Asia with his wife and two kids, two daughters, because he works with this water system. He's an engineer. And hey, we don't give people water. And it's about 20 minutes to set up the family, set up them going there, meeting this guy Pierce Brosnan on the plane. He's doing Pierce Brosnan doing drunken karaoke with his buddy, who's nicknamed Kenny Rogers, because he drives a car littered with Kenny Rogers stuff and music. And him and his buddy are doing karaoke on Huey Lewis. She got heart and soul. Da, 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 da. So it was kind of fun to see Pierce Brosnan do that, having a bit of fun with the role. You tell there's the family love each other, but Owen Wilson and his wife have a little bit of friction, but not too much to be irritating. But you know, there's a little bit of history there. There's no phones, TV, internet is working. Next day, Owen Wilson goes out to get a paper. And boom, he's right in the middle of a bunch of cops with riot shields, a bunch of protesters. And right there, the movie goes. It doesn't really stop until the end of the film. Like 20 minutes in, it goes, and it's coup d'etat, as they call it. Coup d'etat, where it's these rioters, they don't like people coming in to revamp the water system and partially enslave them because the bigger corporations, well, you owe us money and you can't pay it, so we'll own your ass. But these people had nothing to do with it. Owen Wilson and his family. So it's them, boom, just on the run, running to the hotel, getting up the hotel, trying to get in. They're coming through the lobby where it just really goes, and you feel Owen Wilson and his family's dire circumstances. And Owen Wilson does a great job as the everyman. Some people don't like him as a comedian. I like him in comedies, Shanghai Noon, other films, but I think he's a guy that sadly doesn't do a lot of more serious work than he should. He did a good job behind enemy lines. This is a very different role. He's more of an everyman. He's not a fighter. He's not an ex-CIA or nothing. Just an every guy. And he did a really good job. He was capable. He wasn't... It's interesting to see when they go against the grain in terms of casting. Yeah, sometimes that could backfire, like John Wayne as Genghis Khan. Oh, but sometimes it could be very interesting. Michael Keaton as Batman, for example, or even something like this. Owen Wilson not doing his Owen Wilson shtick, so to speak. And the two girls, they were not irritating, they were not annoying, and they felt like a family. And like I said, there were times where it felt like a 28 Days Later vibe. Or if they were infected people, you did almost the same type of sequences. Only again, this is people wanting to murder and destroy. So like running around and seeing all these dead bodies, or where's the other dog? She's at the pool and trying to get to her in time. They get to the roof, they think they're safe, a fucking massacre happens. They're in one part of another building, there's a tank, they gotta get out of the way because the tank blows up a piece of the building. Like I said, it really ratchets up the tension and intensity. And yes, once in a while you still have that shaky bit of business, but at least I could understand what's going on. It wasn't too incoherent compared to other movies that have done that. And no, I don't think the fucking film is racist. It's racist. It's racist and it's xenophobia is racist. This shit happens. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Hate to burst the fucking bubble. This shit actually does happen. And lo and behold, there are people who do not like Americans. There are racists in America, yes, but there's racists in every other fucking country. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's not like America's the only fucking country with racism in it. There are Chinese who hate Japanese, there are Japanese who hate Chinese, there's Chinese who hate us, and us who hate them. Me? No, I don't give a fuck unless you're an asshole. Or a pedophile, or a murderer. Then you can go fuck yourself. No matter your color, creed, sex, gender, both, neither. But is that racist? Like, they didn't see the fucking film in the hotel lobby when there are many people, including people of ethnicity, who get killed. There's a point where someone of ethnicity helps the family to see that they have a kid come this way. Again, people on the roof who are not white, who are friendly and allies and sadly get killed. The guy with Pierce Brosnan, he's not white. Like, do they just ignore all this shit? Do they? I guess they do. This is racist. Yeah, and you're an idiot. You're a fucking moron. And I wonder if that's why this film didn't get more well known, because this is racist. It's not fucking racist. Maybe you're the one who's racist. No, I'm just... fuck's sake. But yeah, I liked Owen Wilson's performance. I thought he did a really good job. Like I said, it was really nice to see him in a more serious role again. Behind Enemy Lines, I put above it because that's more of just straightforward action film, and that's just more my cup of tea. But as a thriller, it worked fairly well. And I don't want to give everything away. But yeah, 20 minutes of build up, and then it starts and it doesn't stop till the end. And yeah, once in a while, I'm just not big on the shaky thing. Like, even when people are talking, when the camera does this, with so many fucking films, not just 2015, a lot of films do that. I'm like, just get a fucking tripod. I don't want to give that away. It doesn't have a bullshit ending. Like I said, you really feel for the family. There's some nice moments where they're whipped together and calming each other down, which makes them more believable as a family. It doesn't go into too many subplots where now we're in this movie, and now we're in this movie, and then we're over here. No, for the most part, we follow the family on their journey to escape out of this crazy situation. There's nice tense moments, like they're undercover and they have to go through a crowd on this moped. That's a nice tense scene. Will they get found out? Will they not get found out? I'm not going to spoil it. It's up to you to find out. Pierce Brosnan, I liked his role, especially when he pops back in. Yeah, I recommend the film. I'll go into spoilers a little bit, but I recommend the film if you've never seen it. It's a good, at times fairly intense film that didn't feel too long. It's only 90-some minutes. And like I said, the director, he took what he learned from horror films. I thought he applied it fairly well. Like, there's this one shot where the wife looks through a peephole, and then you see the POV through the peephole of her seeing these guys in another room across the way coming out, and there's like a dead body or something here, and the director knew what he was doing with this for the most part, so I give props to that. And yeah, I love As Above So Below. That's an underrated film. Poughkeepsie Tapes was better than I thought it would be, honestly. So, Devil, I wasn't a fan of Devil. I thought that was a laughable movie. But, not everyone's perfect. But yeah, I recommend this film. I thought it was rather good. Now, again, the spoilers. There's a bit where a helicopter crashes on the roof. Decent effects, sometimes a bit too CGI, you could notice, but for the most part, it's a fairly, violent movie. All the innocent people getting killed on the rooftop. Like, you really do feel that I keep saying you do feel the tension because of that. Pierce Brosnan, he has a good moment. He gets wounded, and the truck's coming at him. He's going to save the family. He's like, "Come to Papa, fucker." He shoots the driver. It's like, come on. Like, he knows he's going to die. He's bleeding to death. So he's like, fuck it. He shoots the driver. The truck hits him, but it's still a pretty badass way to go. Like, come on. But at least he got the guy and helped the family out, so. It's set that Pierce Brosnan had to go, but he went out like a badass. At least he did that. The way it ends, it felt a bit mundane to me. Only to the fact of, again, this is spoilers. They're on the river. They're going to try to get to Vietnam. They go across the border for safe haven. This bad guy that's been following them grabs the daughter, tells the daughter to shoot her dad. The mom finally comes and kills the guy with an oar. Then Owen Wilson gets someone, kills a couple. It was fine, but I guess I'm not expecting like a fucking True Lies Michael Bay ending, but it's just, I guess I would expect it a bit more where maybe instead of an oar, maybe the wife like killed the guy with like a knife or something, or you really get to see this guy suffer. I think that's the thing. I wanted the villain to suffer. He really doesn't suffer, and I know that sounds fucked up, but this is a villain I grew to hate just because of the actions going on. Just wanted them to suffer a bit more. Maybe both mom and dad, like, beating them to death or something like that. I mean, maybe that'd be too off-kilter in tone, because they do have their kids over there. At least the mom gets to do something. I don't know. I wanted a bit more. I can't really state what exactly I wanted. But like I said, it doesn't end on a bullshit way. Everything's fine and dandy. They said the two little girls, they were not irritating, annoying. They didn't do too many stupid stuff. There's a bit when Owen Wilson has to throw them across the roof. The slow motion looked a little bit silly. It's a decent shot where it looked like the way you could really convey the height and that they're going from one rooftop to another. So it conveys the danger. But I don't know, just the way the girls are floating in slow motion, it looked a little bit silly. But I don't know what you would do to fix that. Because I know why they did slow motion, like I said, to invoke the danger of, like, this is how far they're up, and this is how long it is across. Maybe if the slow motion didn't hold on for so long. Or maybe if there was a way to do it without slow motion, where you could still have the shot and vote the height and length, but there's a way of doing it without using the slow motion technique. There's a way to do that, which I don't know how. But that was a little bit of a... I like the intention, I like the shot, but it looked a little bit silly. Maybe that's just me. So like, there's little nitpicks here and there. But overall, like I said, rather solid film. I wish Owen Wilson would do more films like this, but they don't... Behind Enemy Lines, I don't know if that... Well, I guess it did well enough on video. There were some straight-to-video sequels, but I don't remember that being a huge hit. This film kind of came and went like the wind. No one really remembers this film, which is a shame. Yeah, it's a pretty decent flick. So, it's worth a watch. Big props to Owen Wilson, Pierce Brosnan, especially Owen Wilson. I see him do different type of role. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.